Alright, I've been wanting to play this deck for a few days. It's been something I've been working on for a while. This is an upgraded version of the blue-green Urza's Gingerbread Cabin deck that we have been playing in the past. Got some huge upgrades with specifically Urza's Saga, like the hottest card on the town. Everybody's freaking out about Urza's Saga. And you also have Yavimaya, which can turn your Saga into a forest. So you have Gingerbread Cabin to enter on top to make an artifact, which makes your Urza's Saga tokens bigger, makes your Urza's tokens bigger. And you also have Expedition Map, which you can tutor up off of Saga to get another Saga, or you can tutor up Yavimaya to make your lands all forests. You can also recur Expedition Map with Emry. And, since we're already like this blue-green Urza Saga shell, I thought it would be good to include the Zuran Orb Titania package. Zuran Orb is an artifact that you can tutor up with Yavimaya. And then if you have Titania plus Zuran Orb, you get to turn all of your lands into 5/3s, and that's going to be, one of our main win conditions here is assembling Orb plus Titania. And beyond that, we also have Tireless Tracker, which makes a ton of artifacts, generates a ton of card advantage, and just making all those artifacts makes, these extra constructs just so much bigger. I'm kind of trying out this like Upheaval sideboard plan against like big mana decks. I'm not sure if it's good, but I want to cast Upheaval, so they're in the sideboard. Yeah, it's really hard to play Counterspell, Charm, and Cryptic. Like, obviously they're castable if you have Urza in play, but they're a lot harder to cast in your Gingerbread Cabin Urza Saga deck. Okay, so we could turn one Emry here. Opponent's playing Lurus. I think I'm going to keep this, and I think that I'll just go against Lurus, turn one Explosives on one pass. Fugak tier 0, just tier 1. It's honestly not clear that it's either. I mean, we'll see once big tournaments start happening, but the Fugak deck is good. It can still be tuned to become even better, but in its current iterations, it's got some bad matchups against like Titan and Heliod. Those matchups are straight up bad. And I also think that like a lot of the fair decks have not figured out the best way to sideboard against Fugak either. And so we're also gonna need to evaluate how good this Fugak deck is after decks are sideboarding well against it. And I think that currently that's not what's happening. I don't think that people really have cohesive sideboard plans or have enough experience in the matchup or to be playing against it or around it super well. You think one Aether Spellbomb? I have a Spellbomb in the sideboard, but Explosives is way better against Rhinos food in general. But I do have a Spellbomb in the sideboard. Yeah, it takes way longer than a week for a format to be defined for any deck to be tier 1. What's Fugak? Fugak is a black-green kind of discard-based graveyard deck that plays Asmazinakar. I know that's not how you actually pronounce the name, but the name of that card is really hard to pronounce. And then gets back Feasting Troll King, which is a 7-mana, 7/6 from Throne of Eldraine. Build over an Explosives, Titania Tracker, Misty. It gets back Feasting Troll King, which is a 6-mana, 7/6 that you can sack 3 foods to return from the graveyard to the battlefield, which is a pretty powerful card. Bernard, thank you for your 5-month resubscription. Appreciate ya. So I'm going to play Urza's Saga. And I think I probably want an Expedition Map for Yavimaya this turn. It's maybe a bit slow. Could get another Urza's Saga. But I might like to... I think I want to get the... We'll just see. We'll just leave with the Expedition Map for now. I'll just go ahead and put a 0 Explosives in play. This way we can crush them with Urza's Saga. I guess I could maybe make a food if they kill the goose. We'll just... obviously, we've got a few options. Excited to Expedition Map plus Emry. I guess I could have maybe... No, I couldn't have also played the map unless I sacked the food. They revealed Lurus, so I'm not too worried about getting comboed. Got a deck tech for Old Regime. The good for the soul deck. feel like so unmarked grave. I see. I feel like unmarked grave doesn't work that well in the Soul Flayer deck. I don't know. Maybe it's fine, but let me just get another Urza Saga. Actually, it's maybe fine, but I feel like you have way too many creatures to Soul Flayer. This is like just way too many enablers, and I would recommend like playing some interactive spells like Thoughtseize, Inquisition, Fatal Push. Your deck can't just all be cards to Soul Flayer, and then like mill cards for Soul Flayer, no tutors for Soul Flayer. You have to play some more enablers, or more interactive spells. You probably want to play like 6 to 8 cards in the graveyard for Soul Flayer, big cards. Maybe that's even on the high side, probably closer to 6, and then closer to like. I don't think Faithless Salvaging is like better than Grizzly Salvage or cards like that. I also don't think Unmarked Grave fits in this kind of deck at all. So I'll just go ahead and I guess we make the token on instep, play second Saga. Play second Saga, cast Expedition Map. My thought was I need Hexproof to keep safe. Yeah, that's fine, but it's like your deck just needs to do more than just like put a Soul Flayer to play on turn 3 if your opponent has no disruption, and you need to have some interaction. Otherwise, you're just not going to be winning very many games. Do I have any desire to play a Goblin combo with Ignoble? Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely, I do. Drown to lock the map. I feel like we are going to be crushing this game. Morning Horchata. Oh, this is Mill. That makes sense. That makes sense. Well, we do have 3 copies of Wheel of Sun and Moon in the sideboard, which are like mostly for graveyard decks, but pretty good here. So I guess maybe that's why I didn't play the Crab, because I had the explosives. Ever brewed up anything with the Evoke Elementals and Elder Deep Fiend? I haven't. There might be something there, but that's also like a lot of cards. Kind of a cool idea, though. Do you like Elder Deep Fiend? Blue-white controlled Hall of Heliod's, Generosity, Shark Typhoon. Hall of Heliod's could put Urza Saga on top of your deck. I mean, that's cool. That's cool. I don't know. It's just like the thing about Urza Saga in Hall of Heliod's Generosity and blue-white control is that in your blue-based control decks, you're super incentivized to play almost exclusively lands that tap for blue to turn on cards like Counterspell and Archmage's Charm and Cryptic Command. So each colorless land you play has huge diminishing returns. Harry, thanks for the raid, dude. How I sent you the, or I think I. Oh, you know what happened was I saw that you were playing my list. I tried to send you the updated list on Twitter. Then for whatever reason I was on the toilet and I saw I didn't actually send the link with the list, so I deleted it and meant to send it again later, and I don't think I did. But yeah, but I ended up changing some things. But I did really like the deck too. I did really like the deck. But what I mean, I'm sure you probably have your own insights, but I ended up cutting the resting pieces from the sideboard was the big thing. And then I ended up like wanting to play a bunch of copies of Engineered Explosives. But nothing too crazy besides that. Some people were suggesting Grixis for Unearth and Spellbomb. Yeah, well, I actually think Lantern is better than Spellbomb because they bring in Leyline a bunch against you. Unearth is fine too, but I actually kind of just prefer being straight blue-red, and then like just with the very light splash for Luris off of Monkey in the lands. Like I actually feel like Explosives is like a really good sideboard card, but you could obviously splash a color if you want to. And then someone in chat suggested playing 1 Fountain, 1 Watery Grave if you're straight blue-red. And just to make Explosives like the tiniest bit better, which I thought was kind of cool. But there's a lot of different directions to go with it, of course. But I'm liking the main deck. Unholy Heat specifically has been just like a banger. Glimpse the Unthinkable. My mill opponent is playing super duper slow. He killed a Croxy. Yeah, yesterday it killed a couple 5/6 Tarmogoyfs for me, which was pretty cool. Metallic Rebuke. Sorry about the lawnmower chat. I think I'm getting Mox Amber here. Mox Amber's looking pretty good. Do you think Unholy in red black could Unholy be better than push? It depends on how good you are at enabling Delirium, but if your deck's good at enabling Delirium, then yes. Okay, so we can actually make another construct and cast Metallic Rebuke. Oh, I should have probably played this other explosives out for 0. Average Joe 40, thank you for your resubscription. Appreciate you, buddy. Let's see. 1, 2. All my breeding pools are actually in my graveyard here, so I'm gonna have to. I guess I could just rebuke off the Mox. And then, do I even need to make another Saga? Because if I fetch, I do open myself up to Trap. How do I like Fracturing Gusted Modern? It's probably like at an all-time high at the moment. Thoughts on One Elixir of Mortality in the side versus Mill Burn? It's probably a good option, but I also already have 3 copies of Wheel of Sun and Moon for like the Food Gak matchups that incidentally are good against Mill as well. I searched last year with Saga. That's a good point, yeah. It goes up to 39. Alright, so I guess we're just making another construct. 21 points of power. Float a mana. Oh, should I make another construct or should I float a mana? I think I'm just making a construct. Then we're gonna search up Bauble. It probably doesn't matter that much between Bauble and map. So am I gonna sack the? I can sack the explosives on X equals 1. That shrinks these down to 8 power, but then we go 1, 2, 3. 1, 2. Oh wait, so this sorry, I didn't realize we also had Cabin active. So that's gonna be another artifact. So we can go ahead and go play Expedition map, just put an artifact in play, put an artifact in play, put an artifact in play. 13 power. Down to 12. It's only 36. No, it's 36 because after we crack this explosives. Oh, that kills our map too. Kills this map, so I guess I missequenced there, but I don't think it's gonna matter. I don't think it's gonna change our clock at all. Create a food. Well, I think it's better to just kill the crab than to create a food because they have the chump blocker here. But it's gonna. I think it doesn't. It's not really gonna matter. I think my opponent's either gonna be able to mill me out this turn, or they're gonna die. No matter what line we take. So 17 cards in our library. So we're beating, like, one Glimpse the Unthinkable. We're beating, a few different things. They cycle Fractured Sanity, which would have milled for 14. So they don't have like Glimpse in their hand already, but they do get to mill me 4 and then draw 2. They play a copy of Field of Ruin. Attack and jump with crab. Yeah, I mean, this is just more damage, but it doesn't matter that much. Okay, if they drew the trap, we lose. Damn it! Exactly 0 cards left in our library. So close. You should have sacked with the orb. Oh crap! Yeah, that's a cool line. That's a cool line. Trim on explosives. I want to keep the rebukes. We probably trim trackers. Maybe we cut the Titania package. Yeah, so sorry about the lawnmower. Hopefully they're not out there too long. It's always Wednesdays. So hopefully we find a Wheel of Sun and Moon. That card's really difficult for our opponent to beat. Well, that's a Wheel of Sun and Moon. Let's keep this. Another copy of Windswept Heath on top, so let's just go ahead and make sure that we can draw that and cast Wheel of Sun and Moon on turn 2. They can have a Thoughtseize to mess us up here, but beyond that, we should be pretty good. Looks like no trap either. I don't know that I've ever cast Wheel of Sun and Moon before. I'm gonna play a Flagfire deck in MTGO. I played Jeskai without the Flagfire package. Kind of just think playing Counterspell and maybe Fire Ice is better at the moment. Makes Emry pretty bad. We have a Bauble in the yard. Oh, that's true. Although it'll go away. I mean, it doesn't matter. Like, this card just beats my opponent. Now I've got some more targets for Emry. Do they have outs to wheel? Oh no, I gotta order my cards now. Isn't there an enchantment edict? That's true, there is one. Do they play it though? I don't know that they do. Oh yeah, Feed the Swarm, that's right. Oh yeah, Set Adrift. Okay, so they got some cards. I don't think I'm supposed to leave up the Veil of Summer, though. Could be. Alright, they packed it up. Sideboard cards in Modern. Sideboard cards in Modern. Is it reasonable to side out Emry? Yeah, Emry's probably actually a good card to side out. My first match with the deck, playing its mill, which is like one of the harder matchups to know the inside and out of. Side out Emry, leaving Titania package. Yeah, I agree. That's probably how we should have built the deck post board. So I like the Yavimaya lets us maybe not crack our fetch lands. I kind of think we should just mulligan for Wheel and Sun of Moon, though. If you've got 3, and any hand with a wheel is going to be much better than any hand without one. Good day, Cradle. Opponent's tanking on their mulligan decision. They kept 7. Alright, this hand has a Wheel of Sun and Moon. Need to put back 2 cards. Probably going to put back Amber Expedition Map? Not sure about this. If we draw 1 land, though, we can... Oh, I guess we have to sack the food. That we're not going to be able to... We're not going to be able to play Wheel of Sun and Moon with Metallic Rebuke up next turn if we have to sack our food. But if we draw a 0-mana artifact for turn now, we can. So maybe it's better to not crack the Bauble. If my opponent taps out, then I'll play the Wheel. I think they're way more likely to have counter magic than spot removal. I don't think that we can tap the food to Metallic Rebuke and tap the food for the mana to the Goose, but Pay cost in any order. Can we cast Metallic Rebuke right now off the Goose? I was under the impression you can't tap and sack at the same time. I guess we could maybe try to. You can. You could not. Okay, well. Loch, I believe, is a judge, so. Maybe. See what they have to say. Yeah, either you can or you can't. There we go. That's some wisdom. Is a level 1 Whir Goose Lantern player. You cannot do that. Cool. That's what I thought. That's what I thought. I almost had a Guy's Blessing in the sideboard this morning, and then I realized, oh, I also just have 3 Wheel of Sun and Moons in my deck. I don't need a Guy's Blessing. But, if I had known I was going to play against Mill round 1, and knowing how important round 1 is to a new brew, maybe I should have. Maybe I should have. Alright, we revealed a Mishra's Bauble to Mishra's Bauble. I think I'll go ahead and shuffle that. Yeah, opponent's definitely playing a little slow. A little bit on the slow side. Yeah, we did punt game 1. We could have sacked our land to Zuran Orb to counter the Field of Ruin. Does Mill play Jace's Phantasm? That hasn't been popular in a while. But it's definitely something they could choose to do. Alright, they bounced my wheel. And they trapped me. That's a good hand. Echoing Truth, Dispute, Archive Trap. They do have Luris, which can attack. I guess Gilded Goose can blank the Luris attacks. It's like the Mill 14. So I'm down to just 16 cards in my library. Looks like I've got like 2 Urzas left, and we immediately draw 1. That's nice. Sadly, we can't go Urza into wheel, but just get the wheel down. Make a food with Goose. Scary. Why not? Because Wheel of Sun and Moon costs green, white, and we can go... Yeah, it costs green, white. We only have blue mana after we Urza. We have 1 green after the food. Right. Oh, I guess I shouldn't have played my land because we could Expedition map for Urza Saga. I was thinking that I wanted to be able to play around Dispute. But I don't. I thought I had 1 more mana than I actually do. I think we're still supposed to jam. And then... Do I spin the Urza? Another Ancestral Recall. I guess I'll spin the Urza. I'm not actually sure that this is correct. Looks like it worked out. How many sagas left? 1 is in the graveyard, 2, 3, just 1 saga left. Cycle Fractured Sanity. I whoops, meant to put the saga lower, but I think we'll shuffle anyways. Playing cards in the library might not be great. Yeah, I mean, they have to bounce the Wheel of Sun and Moon. I think that's like what it's just going to come down to this match. Like with 13 cards in our library, we'll kill them before they deck us. We can even draw another Wheel of Sun and Moon, maybe. Another tracker. So I'm going to play the tracker, fetch Urza Saga, play the land, trigger the tracker's attack, and pass. Did you not target myself with wheel? I did. I did target myself with wheel. They bounced it and then milled me for a bunch. That's true. Second wheel doesn't help against Echoing Truth, but does help if they have a different answer. They pretty clearly didn't have one in their hand last turn, so they'd have to be drawing to it. Dan, thank you for the raid, buddy. Good to hear from you. Working on an Urza deck. First match with it, playing its mill, and we're lucky enough to have Wheel of Sun and Moons in our sideboard. Opponent is also playing on the slow side, about to be a full 10 minutes ahead on clock. They decide to let the tracker resolve. Maybe they have like a Rebuke in their hand. Could maybe have gotten Gingerbread Cabin instead, just to make the construct a bit bigger, but I think it's probably better to get Urza Saga and then make the construct a bit bigger. Now we have to decide if we want to spin with Urza. I think it's probably fine to, like, really this game is, if they can answer the Wheel of Sun and Moon, we lose. That hasn't changed. It's, I don't think, going to change. Urza does not miss. Oh, I could have also made a food, actually. Oh, no, sorry, 1 mana short. We're fine, we're fine. They didn't chump block the constructs? Weird. Control with the white, suspend spell, and sharks. I've seen some people try to do that. I'm not sure exactly how good or bad that is, though. They must have Crypt Incursion. Why do they must have Crypt Incursion? I should have stacked that differently. We're just gonna be going through our whole deck every turn. Yeah, they don't have Crypt Incursion. That's a good draw. So this is gonna make our constructs a lot bigger. Okay, they just concede. Well, weird first match, but we emerge victorious. 1-0 with the Urza Saga deck. We pull up the list for everybody just joining us. It's been something I've been working on for a few days. Like, the most difficult thing for this deck for me was making the mana look good if you wanted to support Urza Saga and Gingerbread Cabin, which I think you really want to in this deck. And then I think Yavimaya, Cradle of Growth, and Expedition Map really tie the room together. So we're going to try them out. I don't know if they're good, but I do have them in the sideboard to try. Keep this hand. Any thoughts on this being a Karn deck instead of Titania? I mean, you could build it that way. I'm like way more excited about it being a Titania deck, though. But it could be better as a Karn deck. In fact, like when this is not a brand new brew in the sense that I've played a decent amount of. Like, this was a deck that we were playing on stream for a while before Modern Horizons 2. This is kind of what the deck looked like before. And I did play Karn in this version. Also played Chalice over Gilded Goose, which is an option as well. I don't think that's correct to do at the moment, but could be. Consideration for at least one copy of Whir. I mean, you have Urza Saga as a tutor. Dude, we have explosives against elves, although I guess also have the goose. Tracker's pretty good. Kind of a tricky turn. Let me go ahead and cast Tracker, I think. The next turn we can maybe go see how many, you know, if they play a bunch of one-man elves, we can explosives, but getting a bunch of clues in play before the tracker comes down seems pretty nice. And also the tracker makes the Urza Saga a bit better too. Alright, well, I think we're about to end our opponent's career. Does mean that we might not get to Urza Saga, but I mean, the value, of course, is kind of unreal. We'll probably fire off an Urza Saga activation next turn for a Construct. If you're playing Control, do you need Field of Ruin for all the sagas running around? I mean, I feel like that's maybe not the best answer. Engineered Explosive seems like the best answer for the Saga tokens to me. There's a lot of choices, though. Jirago Borecaller, huh? So let's see what we draw. Mishra's Bauble. I want to get a construct out of this saga, so let me go ahead and fire this off. And then, do we get an expedition map? Do we get Mox Amber? Do we get Zuran Orb? Do we get Mishra's Bauble? We already have an expedition map in our hand, so I think that I'm gonna get Mishra's Bauble. And then look at the top card of my library. If there's a land on top, I'll probably not sack this Bauble, but there's a Tireless Tracker, so I want to find my land for next turn. Do you think people are not playing enough Force of Vigor? Maybe. Ooh, Quarian Ranger. Don't have a forest in play. So I think that I just need to make sure I can Urza next turn. I feel like I actually just want an expedition map for a fetch land to... Oh, I guess I can Urza next turn if I play Goose. Yeah, I could just go Goose and map here. Oh yeah, we did just give them a forest. That's funny. Yeah, we are in a Nature's Claim meta. Maybe we are. Yeah, there are a decent amount of like 1-2 mana cards that just kill Urza's Saga, Jamoka's Command, Nature's Claim, Natural State, Erase, Wear Tear. Wear Tear might be like close to main deckable and Jeskai control. Probably not quite there. Yeah, Alpine Moon also just says, you know, your Urza Sagas are just dead cards. Yeah, Rip Apart 2. Rip Apart seems super main deckable. I agree. Maybe we'll play some Jeskai. Maybe we'll play some Jeskai with Rip Apart. Does Spreading Seas kill Urza Saga? Ooh, cool. Could sack a few clues to deal them damage, but I think instead I'd rather just get the second tracker in play. Opponent's very dead, I think. Can we get a Harry Spear to congratulate Simon on the master's degree? Well, congratulate Simon on your master's degree. I'm still streaming from the phone though. I'm actually going to Best Buy later today to just try to the hotspot for whatever reason is just slower than my phone, so I think I'm going to buy a second phone specifically for USB tethering to stream. I'm going to do that after today's stream. Yeah, Royal Siren seems good if you're straight blue-red with Murktide. I think I've been liking the Lurist variant of that deck though. So do we bring in Upheaval against Elves? I definitely want the other explosives. I kind of feel like this is the sideboard plan. Let's like at least try it, right? Like it's probably not that good. PC, thank you for your Twitch Prime subscription. Hope you're having a good day today. This is probably not that good, but I'm gonna try it. Def Grafdiggers. Oh yeah, Cage is pretty good. Yeah, okay. No, you're right. This is terrible. Let's mulligan this hand. Haven't drawn Titania yet. This hand seems a little slow as well. This hand has explosives. I think we need to keep that. Put back these two. Thank you, Cody Guy. Yeah, hopefully just. I mean, it's honestly been streaming from my phone has been like way smoother than streaming through Spectrum's internet, which is, you know, funny and sad. But hopefully this just solves our issues. Cool. Is the Esper control deck posted anywhere? It should be in the Stream Decker. I think we're gonna play some of that today. There's an Urza Saga on top. Draw is pretty awkward. I think I'm just playing out the explosives on one this turn. Hoping to draw land. Grafdigger is kind of a Nambo with Saga when you actually draw it. I don't think so. Yeah, Grafdigger's Cage doesn't stop Saga. It's an unfortunate draw. Are Pithing Needle's effects still worthy of sideboard slot? Needle is like really good against the food decks, right? You get to like search up Needle and name Cookbook or Asmo. Feasting Troll King. Yeah, Needle's really good against the Cookbook decks. Blue-green Owls with Beck Call, Quarreling Oracle, Intruder Alarm, Upheaval win. Sounds like a great time. I do love. That was like one of my first decks ever. Was Beck and Call Elves. Kind of shocked that they're committing another 1-drop into the explosives. Maybe they just have Archdruid though. Realmwalker, sure. Although Grafdigger's Cage stops Realmwalker, so if we can draw a land, I'm feeling okay. That's a land. That's a land. Okay. They do have like a solid beatdown plan here. Might have to draw a land again next turn. Yeah, if we could just draw a land next turn, I think that we are in decent shape. They didn't cast that from their library, did they? I don't think so. Ooh, didn't hit the land. Might spell death for us. Can't that guy. Once featured a hotspot that only kicks in when the Wi-Fi gets bad. Sounds like what I need. Well, I'm not using Wi-Fi to stream with. I would much rather have a wired connection. And the problem is if you to use like a second. I've kind of looked into like the dual internet solutions, right? But the problem is like the stream still crashes. From my understanding, there's no way to stop the stream from crashing if the first line goes down, and the other one comes back up, but it doesn't like not stopping that first crash is a big problem for me, and doesn't feel like it's necessarily the solution I want. Yeah, all right, let's go to game 3. There is, but it's more expensive, and we'll be using both connections at once. Well, I'd be super willing to look into that. That might just be my best option to use Spectrum's internet than the hotspot, right? So I guess if someone has information on that, I'll take a look. Maybe we can DM it to me. Turn 1 map, turn 2 Emry, or map. Seems just like a little slow with no explosives. I think we keep this hand though. Virgo gifting 20 subs, helping me pay some of my Spectrum fees. Appreciate that, buddy. It's gonna be very helpful, I think. Put almost to 5. Big thank you to you, Eric. I think I cracked the bubble now. Yeah, live exclusively tethered to phones one day. Hopefully one day soon. What do you think of Charlotte's Agent and Banned Stoneblade? It's like fine, but it's fine. But it's not like it solves all of Banned Stoneblade's problems to get to play Shardless Agent, you know? The deck is still kind of lacking, unfortunately. Would love to find an explosives off the Emry here. No. Bauble's not the worst, though. Thank you, Eric. Appreciate you. Whoops. I meant to, wait, are the notifications not playing? I guess they weren't playing this whole time. They were just coming through my speaker. Sorry, I had the desktop audio. Do the notifications sound okay? Now they are? Okay. I see. Just my speaker was on, but for some reason my desktop audio was off. Okay. So we can, this turn, sack Expedition Map for a fetch land, fetch up another cabin, use the food we get off of cabin to play explosives on one and crack explosives. And then, is it better to attack for 3, or is it better to leave back the tracker to block the 1/1 elf token? Our life total is not too high. Yeah, I think I'm kind of scared of that. Like, we're winning this long game here. Like, the longer the game goes, the better it is for us. And so, I think I am willing to trade, you know, 1 damage for 3 damage, or like not get 3 damage in to keep up 1. Oh, Heritage Druid is very scary though. Druid into Winding Way, revealing Realmwalker, Elvish Warmaster. Golly. So we could probably explosives on 2 here. Slow them down a bit. That was straight fire, huh? If only we still had that Emry in play to recur the explosives. They play their second Warmaster. Talk about Academy Manufacturer the deck. I mean, I just don't feel like there's room for Manufacturer, to be honest. Is there no value to holding up explosives until they attack? Maybe that was better. They have Heritage Druid, so attacks are free the last 2 turns. I mean, not free. Free is, I think, inaccurate. Maybe better. We also didn't know, like, the first turn we chose not to attack. We didn't know that they had another Heritage Druid in their hand. I think. Yeah, we really needed to like draw Urza this turn. I feel like Manufacturer is better than Emry. I mean, I don't know but if I agree with that, but Manufacturer is worth testing, I think. But I didn't want to play it in this shell. Alright, tough match. Lurus of the Dream Den. I'll keep this against Lurus. Is Auric Champion or Sanctifier in fact better than Heliod? Definitely Champion. Sanctifier doesn't gain any life. People will complain about grief such, and now about Saga. Are those cries justified? I mean, I don't know. Who cares? I don't know if the cries are justified, but it is true that like Urza Saga is a very powerful card. Grief was probably, it was almost definitely the most overhyped card going into Modern Horizons 2. I think that that's a pretty safe statement that Grief seems to be very overhyped. But the metagame has not adjusted for Urza Saga. Like, the card has like a lot of cards that it's weak to. Hercule's Recall, Engineered Explosive, Shatterstorm, Jamoka's Commands, Nature's Claim. There are a ton of cards that beat up on Urza Saga. And Engineered Explosives is like really good, you know, already, like against the Crushing Footfall decks, against a lot of aggro decks. You know, Explosives and Lurus decks specifically seem like they're probably very good against Urza Saga. The Amulet Titan decks also play Urza Saga, but they also seem like they probably have a lot of game against there's a Titania on top. Do I want to draw Titania? I think no, not right now. You know, the metagame is just not adjusted, and so like people are, I think, very quick to usually complain about new cards and not very quick to, you know, adjust, right? And then you know, when a metagame, when, you know, usually you'll see an unhealthy metagame when decks are adjusted to a card. Like if people are packing a lot of Hercule's Recalls and Engineered Explosives and Shatterstorms, if they're playing all this hate for the Urza Saga decks, and Urza Saga is still incredibly dominant, you know, that's usually when you see like an unhealthy card that, you know, maybe needs to be banned. But let's just give it some time, is my opinion. Yeah, exactly. When GACs were running main deck, like everyone, or not everyone, but GAC was running main deck Leyline for the mirror. You know, a lot of decks were playing every deck played 4 Leyline in the sideboard, some in the main board, and then GAC was still easily the best deck. That was certainly. So really hoping they play another 2-drop here. That was certainly a great example of a very unhealthy metagame. Yeah, but yeah, Explosives is like kind of at an all-time high, I think. Confidence boost from Artia. Yeah, usually that's for me to look at a deck and tell you it's perfect, but recently everybody's just been giving me the confidence. Just wanted to use your points, thank you. Maybe I'll chump block with Gilded Goose. Oh. Wasn't expecting that push. Yikes. Unyikes, perhaps? No, this Urza is going to be a bit slow, I think. Urza is a bit slow here. Wolfgang, thank you for your subscription, buddy. Appreciate you. They only have 1 card in their hand. I'm pretty sure I'm supposed to cast the Urza. And just chump block with the Construct. Take it from there. Be dead to like Teamer Battle Rage, dead to Lightning Bolts. They're tapping for red, so I don't think that we're living this game. Is this a bluff, just to tap the land for red because we're dead to any red spell? I would love to see that, just like tap the land for red. Okay, they should have probably bolted the Constructs. I don't know, maybe not. Bring in that, bring in the Veils. I really want to draw Titania. I feel like I haven't drawn Titania yet. Do something like this. Speedify is an app that allows you to combine cellular channels and Ethernet to avoid interruption if you're using both. Okay, I'll take a look at that, Dr. Doom. Hopefully that solves the issue, because maybe I'll just like combine like my hotspot with Spectrum. Maybe that would work. Maybe that would be my best solution. Which was worse, Uro or Field? Field, probably. It's close. I mean, the two are really good together. Loch 1102, thank you for your Twitch Prime subscription. Hope you're having a good day. Have I shown your Esper control list? It should be in the Stream Decker. We'll be playing it later. Does Titania win more, say, Decrypted Command? I feel like I haven't drawn Titania. I haven't drawn Titania yet, but the idea is that Titania combos off with Zuran Orb, and Zuran Orb is tunable with Saga, and so I want to play test it and see if it's good. It might not be. We'll see. Max, thank you for your 12 month. Appreciate you, buddy. Think Culling Ritual? Yeah, Culling Ritual could be good. I like the idea of putting that card in the deck. But I mean, probably would. There may be better options like explosives, but it's something to think about for sure. You plans to brew with Titania and get Rug Monster? No, I don't think Get Rug is playable. I know Pleasant Kenobi is all about it, but I don't believe, unfortunately. I'd like to believe. I'd like to feel something. You will live. Tireless Tracker, you're going to live. It's too soon to say goodbye. Yes, aspiring spike, forbid me now to die. I'll obey. I will try. Do I attack here? Yeah, Hercule's Recall seems pretty good, I agree. Getting a Gingerbread Cabin. Shout out to Yavimaya. Redraw a card. I think I'm supposed to attack. You only really died to Team or Battle Rage here. Oh, that's not even true because we can sack the food, right? 9, 18. Yeah, we go to 1. Right? We go to 1, 18. Can't have Street Wraith. So they have another threat to play. It's Scourge of the Skyclaves, which is just a casual 2 mana 16/16. Pretty reasonably sized. Well, we're in trouble. Officially in trouble. Team of Battle Rage plus Scourge was a pretty good turn, if you do ask me. I have to double chump this turn. Oh, they drew another Team or Battle Rage. Okay. Rough stuff. But and because of that, I haven't thought too hard about it. I mean, it could be something there. I think Urza Saga can make mono blue prison work. I mean, it's kind of just hard to be mono blue in Modern when like splashing in color is pretty free, but maybe. Like, so a lot of people have been talking about Lantern Control again, everybody's favorite deck. Yeah, the Incubator, I think that card's good. I decided not to include it today. I feel like there wasn't room in the list, but you could definitely play that card for sure. Do I want to play Map or Goose? I just want to play Map. Yeah, the Lantern deck was super cool. I'm pretty nostalgic for it too, honestly. Yeah, I feel like against blue-white, I'm going to be just trying to loop a bunch of Urza Sagas and flood the board. Seems like the best game plan. Why do lanterns stop being a thing? I mean, there's a lot of different reasons. It's like the Mox Opal ban was a big one. Karn the Great Creator, Jace the Mind Sculptor unban. There's like, yeah, a lot of cards that fought pretty well against it were printed. Pretty interested to see how hard Urza Saga is for my opponent to deal with. Seems pretty dang hard. I think I'm just going to sack my food, or I'm going to attack first, and then sack my food, play another Urza Saga. I don't think I need to leave up Metallic Rebuke, because my opponent just kind of they need to sweep the board. So I'll leave it up right now, but I don't need to leave it up on my opponent's turn, I think. Tap draw. Yeah, this is fine. I'll just go sack my map for another Urza Saga. Yeah, I agree. It really feels like Urza Saga should not be able to make 2 tokens. The card would just be like so much more balanced if it didn't, in my opinion. Certainly not the hottest take. But this plane just seems so strong against control. Just like make a bunch of uncounterable constructs. What is my opponent supposed to do against this? Yeah, if they have Verdict in their hand, they don't currently have the double white. We have 4 sagas and 4 expedition maps. Local man figures out Saga's broken. Yeah, card's pretty good. Card's pretty good. Wait, they're also splitting Snow Islands and Basic Islands? They have Fielded the Dead in their deck? Alright, let's attack with the constructs here. Definitely getting an island with the Yavimaya here. And then I think I'm just going to leave up mana. Yeah, Archmage's Charm on explosives. Wait, couldn't they have done that last turn? That's actually a big problem. No Verdict either. Jeez. Let me just make a food here, I think. So playing Gingerbread Cabin makes the constructs lethal, but I think I'll just, you know, make a food after blocks. Because I want to be able to play another Saga this turn. And then maybe I'll cast Emry too? Oh, if I cast Emry, I have to use a food or use something else. Just leave up the food activation / rebuke. I mean, if they can jam a Planeswalker here, it's pretty good for them. Although, okay, they just back it up. Literally all we did was Urza Saga that game. Literally all we did. So we're in the Veils, the Cavern of Souls. Cutting the explosives. And the Mox Amber, probably. Could play like an Upheaval for fun. Maybe like I'll cut 2 geese or 1 geese for 1 Upheaval. Kind of as a fun of. I'm just kind of trying out like sideboarding these in against big mana decks specifically and like Domain Zoo possibly. But I'm not convinced that the Upheavals are good. I just wanted to try them. Cut 1 Cradle? Maybe. I don't hate the idea. Let's keep this, I guess. Kinda needs to draw an artifact. Yeah, I guess we should have cut a Cradle. Cutting a Yavimaya was actually probably a genius line, huh? Chat's brain is too big. I think I'm gonna wait on the Saga. Ooh, Field of Ruin my please Field of Ruin my Yavimaya. They might do that this turn. Yeah, they might do that. Let's just pass. We can play like Tracker with Veil up. We also just have our Rebuke up here. They're just passing. They're missing a land drop, so I think we can, you know, wait a bit. Yeah, they missed their land drop. I think I'm gonna still wait. Now they go to discard. Yeah, if they're just gonna go to discard, let's play it slow. I'm just not gonna expose the Urza Saga to the Field of Ruin. Hold, yeah, hold. That was the best place to DM me. On Twitter is the best place. You can also do it on Twitch, but I don't check my Twitch DMs as often as I do the other ones. Alright, so if we play 1, 2, 3, Tracker. I think we'll play the Cabin first for Metallic Rebuke. And then we can, of course, just sack these Misties for clues. Can I brew a Legacy Battle of Wits Food Gak Hogak list? Sounds miserable. But could probably 3-2 with it, yeah. I feel like the bad guy casting this Veil of Summer. Dude, we drew Cavern for Titania. Oh boy. Oh my gosh. It's getting hot in here. Have you been getting any 2 cards from Mana Traders? Mana Traders, and I was borrowing some from some people, mostly Kurd Bros, and then I probably was only supposed to crack 1 land there. And then I ended up buying 2 Urza Sagas for today. Yeah, I was supposed to leave another fetch land uncracked, but we'll be okay. Titania looking alright here. We also just have 2 Urza Sagas in our hand. Oh my gosh. They're not gonna Field of Ruin me, are they? They're gonna draw 2 with Charm, sure. Titania seems great in Black Green Rock. Yeah, Titania I think is a really good card. I'm excited to find some more shells for the card. Well, that's pretty good. Oh, I should have gotten some clues. I was thinking I didn't want to fetch because of oh, I meant to tap that for a green. I was thinking I didn't want to fetch because of Titania, but I did want to fetch for a Tracker. I think it's okay. I think we've got enough value. We lost to Jun's Shadow. We lost to Elves. I feel like they might counter that. Okay, they didn't. They might, I mean, I feel like there's a good chance they're going to Field of Ruin my Urza Saga. Too bad we don't have Zuran Orb in play. Milled over a Bauble. Got another clue, I guess. No, Urza Saga is not legendary for some reason. Does it come correct to not grab the land from Field of Ruin? I think it's usually correct to. I don't think we're like that worried about like Titania and Tracker having more lands. My top card is Mishra's Bauble. Guess I should have waited on the land drop. But we've got, you know, Misty Rainforest to crack. Ooh, Titania is obviously a great draw. Can even get back an Urza Saga. Main phase, Cycle Shark Typhoon for 2. Their hand probably is super weak. Okay, they packed it up. Alright, bounce back to 2 and 2. I'm gonna play a little bit more of this deck. At least one more league. No dono queue today, Simon. We're just temporarily suspending donation decks. I want to be playing with stuff I want to play with. Kihira playing against the cat deck. Let's mulligan this hand. It's the mighty Kihira. Go to 5. Yeah, I'm just not sure how you make room for Sylvan Anthem and Corian Ranger without cutting the Cocos. When do you next plan to revisit Blue-Red Monkey? I played it yesterday. Some point, I don't know. Soon. It's pretty high on the list of decks I've played. Probably gonna write about it for Channel Fireball. I just finished writing an article and doing a video about Esper Stoneblade. I feel like I probably want to play Tracker next turn, so let me hold off on the Saga. Inspired by you bringing in Upheaval against Elves. So another Elves deck by Simon. I'm sorry I'm not being too helpful. The Elves deck is really hard for me to build. Let's see. Is this a deck that wants Court of Calling? Court is probably okay, especially because you're a Yori on deck. Gotta find Heritage Druid somehow. I feel like you probably want Intruder Alarm, right? Intruder Alarm seems good to me. Okay, this has got to be an Upheaval matchup, right? I think we're on Urza Saga beatdowns this game, though. This has got to be an Upheaval matchup that we're playing against now. Yeah, I feel like you want to try to find room for Bet Call and like the 4th Intruder Alarm, but you know, maybe those days are long since past. Maybe that's not good anymore. I feel like the Coiling Oracle isn't good. This card's probably great, though. Yeah, this card's probably really, really good. Maybe just regular elves should play this card. Sylvan Anthem might be something you want to, but they have Shriek Maw? Gross. Yeah, there was a 5-0 Cats deck in the league. Unfortunately, my opponent is just playing Elementals. Hopefully they attack. I mean, I'm just going to make an elemental because there's no way they ever attack here. Yeah, but this definitely feels like an upheaval matchup. I was able to get 2 Urza Saga for Mana Traders, and then I bought 2. I feel bad because I bought 3 for like 8 tickets towards the beginning of MH2, and I sold them for like 45 or something like that, and then I just bought them back for like 50 something. I don't really know why I sold them. I was worried they'd go down. Let me get Zuran Orb here, I think. Maybe I need the Bauble to try to dig for Urza. Nah. I think we'll want to just make these constructs huge. What is this block, dude? I don't understand. I guess whatever. They got another. I mean, they got another Risen Reef. They're probably just gonna be able to totally outvalue these constructs. How do I feel about Dothy and Mill? I think it's fine. I mean, one thing about Dothy, like, obviously casting a spell without paying its mana cost. That's a super flashy line of text, but it's also like what if you look at our opponent's deck? Like, what spell in our opponent's deck are we going to cast for 0 mana that's so powerful? And then there are a ton of decks that like burn. Like, you're going to get to cast a burn spell for 0 mana. Against Shadow, like, you get to cast maybe a Tarmogoyf. There are a ton of decks that just don't have good spells to cast for 2 mana, or for that aren't going to synergize well with your deck or facilitate your game plan. There are decks that are going to have some crazy cards to cast, like Primeval Titan, Jace the Mind Sculptor, Ulamog if you're super lucky. But that's the biggest problem with that plan in my mind. Is that super dead. That's the biggest problem with that plan, is that a lot of decks just don't have crazy things to cast. And so I do think that Voidwalker is a good card, and I think it's a good main deck card right now because the Graveyard Hate is pretty relevant, but that's just something to keep in mind when you're trying to evaluate, I think. Alright, let's try to upheaval them. Brewed any Shaman list? I've tried to put some together. The Harmonic Prodigy, that card is pretty cool with Fulminator Mage. You get to copy Fulminator Mage's ability on turn 3, but the lists don't look that good. An update for Bant Stoneblade. I've kind of been preferring Esper Stoneblade recently, but I'll look at Bant again, or 4-color. 4-color probably red for Recruiter, because you can Recruiter for Toski. You do not get to copy activated abilities? I think that you do. Really? I should just say triggered abilities. Yeah, you do. It's an ability or another shaman you control triggers. Oh, it is triggered. Okay. Never mind. You're right. Sad. I guess I don't have a shaman's draft then. Keep. Yeah. It seems good in shamans. It's sad that card is a wizard and not a shaman, though. Makes me pretty upset. All right, let's upheaval our opponent. I would really like to get to do that. Okay, he'll play with 2, so he got up to 4. Yeah. I agree that's probably that. All my shaman decks have 4 of those in their drafts, and I'm also trying to figure out how to pair it with Pyre of Heroes, like copying Burning Tree Emissary's trigger, making 4 mana, sinking that into Pyre of Heroes, playing and sacking immediately is kind of interesting to me. Ooh, that's pretty good. Been a good draw this game. The best to make Urza deck using Keenan. I haven't liked Keenan very much in these kind of decks. Like, the ceiling is really high on Keenan, but I also feel like the floor is very low. So I guess we might be trying to Zuran Orb this game. Yeah, I think we played against. Yeah, this sounds like the match we just played. Terror. Seemed like a rough matchup for you. Absolutely. Well, thankfully we have another Urza. Is this what they tutored up? They tutored up Risen Reef. I guess I'm getting Breeding Pool. If only we had a Risen Reef to go with our Titania. Good luck on your recovery, Gurken. Wishing you the best. This is just Demonic Tutor with Risen Reef. It's pretty cool. So they're getting an Awakener to kill my Urza. So if we want a Titania for sure next turn, we have to crack our Expedition map, which does mean that we can't block the Thunderkin Awakener. Oh, no, we can. We can. Yeah, just do this. Sorry, I forgot when this trigger. This triggers end of turn. Maybe taking 6 is a little loose, but I think we'll be okay. Can we grab a fetch land? Could get another Saga. Could just get Cabin. Just get Cabin, I think. So we're going to get to do the Titania Zuran Orb thing. It might not be good enough here. Your second Titania. Alright, I mean, even if it's not good enough, it's at least going to be cool. I think with the Constructs too, it'll probably get there. Yeah, I saw Sam tweet that he thinks Splinter Twin is okay. I might actually agree with him. It's been a while since I've thought that Splinter Twin might be okay. Sam thinks Undead Augur is bad. Well, friendship with Sam ended, I guess. Just kidding. Seems fine, right? Should be dead. Do we sack all lands at instep? I mean, so we'll do so depending on what the board state looks like, but it looks like they're going to be very dead to us just making 5/5/3s here. Like, we don't need to block either because we get to gain 10 life. We're finally doing the thing. We're finally doing the thing. What's the story behind MTGO user? It was probably like 6 months ago or something, but there was a website that wrote an article about a deck that I had made and been working on, and they described me as MTGO user aspiring spike and not, you know, Twitch streamer aspiring spike or whatever. And so we just kind of poke fun at that I'm just an MTGO user. Well, that looked pretty good. That looked pretty good. Should I bring in like one needle for Aether Vial? I feel like I'm kind of down. Like, it's, you know, it's also an Urza Saga target. I also love to Upheaval. Yeah, it is a very prestigious title to be an MTGO user. I'm proud to call myself that. The whole time I thought it was just something funny you said without a story behind it. Yeah, it's got a little bit of a story. It's not like a big one. Love the Esper list. Yeah, I've been enjoying the both Esper Control and Esper Stoneblade. It has Upheaval. I think I'm just gonna keep. It's got Upheaval in it. Can't help myself. Is the Upheaval plan doing it while a bunch of Titania's triggers on the stack? Well, that's like, of course, the best case scenario. Oh wait, no, you can't do that because Upheaval's not an instant. Sad. Guess the deck doesn't work. Ooh, funny. It's not that big of not that bad of an exchange. Foundation Breaker, pretty good card, I think. I think the Temur Rhinos deck needs to be playing this over Ingot Chewer. When I first built the Temur Rhinos deck, this card didn't exist. Do I want to play Urza Saga here? If I play Urza Saga, the next turn make a Construct. Then we can Urza the following turn. Just tap the mana. Have 2 Constructs. Seems fine. Can also get the Zuran Orb with this. Yeah, when I first built it, this card wasn't spoiled, and then I just have like continued to forget. I've continuously forgotten to add it. Let me just do that now. I do want to revisit the Temur Rhinos deck at some point. Oh no, what's the name of the card? Foundation Breaker. Totally forgot. I'll block a Risen Reef with the token. Deck probably needs some more changes than that, but feels like a good first start. Another copy of Risen Reef, but they can't cast it unless they have a land. They probably have a land. What enchantments is Temur Rhinos interested in killing? Am I dumb? I mean, they're evoking Foundation Breaker? Weird. There are a lot of enchantments out there. Oh, the Urza Saga? Urza Saga is maybe the one, huh? I wouldn't say that you're dumb for not knowing, but, you know, like Blood Moon is one for sure. Urza Saga. There is an Enchantress deck that's kind of running around. Seems pretty good. So I guess I'd like to avoid that happening again. I would so much love to get to Upheaval this game. Looks like we've got a decent chance. Should I not crack the Expedition map? I guess I don't see a ton of point in cracking it now. Ooh. Okay, it's pretty bad if they can Spy Bells back up to Urza. Just get a tap land, I think. No. Let me actually get Gingerbread Cabin. Yeah, this seems better. Cool. Man, Cabin is so good in this deck. So maybe we can Upheaval next turn. Another Risen Reef revealed to Primal Beyond. Have you seen tag from Michael J playing Punishment, Green Black X? His E style card that says Sagas and Tokens. Yeah, I did see that idea. It's pretty cool that it also hits Saga. Explosives might still be better, but I'm not sure. It's a cool idea. I like it. Black, so probably... Oh. I was thinking this was going to be Skelemental. So maybe next turn we're going to go Titania. I don't know that we can afford to risk our Urza dying. They still have 3 mana. If we draw a Cabin, we get to go Urza, have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We could go Urza Upheaval next turn if we draw a fetch land for Cabin, but then we are not getting to play anything else beyond that. So ideally we can wait one turn, and this turn go Titania, get back a fetch land for Gingerbread Cabin. And then also gets a 5/3 elemental token to block and hopefully survive. They have Path. Well, okay. If they can kill us, obviously we lose, but they would need two Skelementals to kill us, right? Which they could very easily have. I believe we survived the first one. Okay, that doesn't kill us by itself, but now just one Skelemental does, and they have so many looks at one. Okay, that's good enough. Yeah, if they kill us, we lose.